May 28th, 2022, and I have been slightly avoiding talking about what I went through yesterday. I had my first ritual performed by this amazing, gifted Native American shaman woman. She performed a ritual on me, a cleansing ritual, and I am just, it's been on my mind. I've been thinking about it since she did it yesterday, and it was amazing. It was such an amazing experience. So she took me to the beach in a private area and drew a circle of protection, and I've been carrying around those rocks with each one with something, a burden and a fear that I was carrying around in my life. And since that video, I added a few more, because at first I realized I thought they were fears, but no, they were also burdens, which, you know, they kind of went in the same, but thinking about them as burdens as well made me think of a few more. So I added a few more, and my back and my neck and my shoulders and everything hurt. I was kind of done carrying them around and putting them on my lap at work and carrying them. I look weird carrying around a bag full of rocks. But anyway, I placed each one down inside the circle and spoke about it, and spoke about how I was letting it go, what it was and how I was letting it go. And pretty soon I was surrounded by all my burdens, all my fears, and I could feel it. I could feel how uncomfortable they made me feel, and how unnecessary that was in my life for me to carry those. And so she cleansed me in various aspects. She helped me get rid of cords, get rid of people that no longer served me any good. And I thought about a lot of my ex-relationships and how I was carrying something about them, you know, just the whole having had that interaction with them, and now I was carrying something about them. And how I needed to get rid of every single one of those, detach those cords, detach the emotional things about them. And so I did. I thought about every single one and how I didn't need that person in my life, and I didn't need that energy, I didn't need that burden of them anymore, and I detached every single one of them. I detached my own mother and my mother's, like, the issues, and she made me understand, this shaman woman, this gifted shaman woman made me understand that I chose to come to this life, and I chose these people as my parents to teach me the lessons that I needed, and that was done and over, and now I could move on from that. And she's so right. She's so right. Those people that were my parents at one point in this lifetime taught me the lessons they really did that I needed to learn, and it was over. I didn't have to feel those feelings anymore. I could let that hurt, and I could let that anger, and I could let that resentment go. And so I did. And I thought about my twin flame and how that just was a stagnant energy by his choice, a stagnant energy, and I didn't want to partake in that anymore, so I let him go as well. I thought about Montana and how it had affected me. Everything that happened had affected me, but I took the same philosophy that she had for my parents. I took the same philosophy that she had for my mom, as in, I chose to be with Montana, which I did. I chose to be with him despite the things that he had done to me. I chose to stay with him despite that I knew that our relationship wasn't gonna last, I chose to have him come back. And for a minute out there, I was hopeful, but once he got here and I started seeing the things that I started seeing, I knew it wasn't gonna last. And so I chose those experiences. And after him, yes, I've been feeling broken. Yes, I've been claiming that I've been feeling broken, and the anxieties that I'm going through and the panic attacks and everything, that I feel drained and stuff. And sure, that's very real. But now it's time for me to let that go. It's time for me to let that go. And what remains is the drive that it left me with, the lessons that it left me with, the want to do and be better, so no one ever looks at me and judges me or makes me feel like I'm second place to anybody else. I am a lioness. I am a lioness woman. I am an amazing woman. No one puts me in second place to anybody else, and especially not the man who's supposed to be my partner. So it's given me this drive to just strive to be better than I've ever been. And so I have this motto in my mind, and it's been there since the day he left. Change my behavior, change my life. Change my behavior, change my life. I feel like it's tattooed in my freaking soul. And so I have this drive, and I don't want it to go away. I have this momentum. I'm doing so good for myself. Body, mind, soul. I'm proud of myself. I'm changing my life. I really am, by changing my behaviors. So she cleansed me. She chanted, she sang, she danced around me in the circle. Brought this long, beautiful feather, and she just did some amazing rituals that I don't want to speak on because those were for me particular, and I won't go into details about it, but what a sacred moment to experience. Oh my God. And it was for me. And I feel so blessed to know, to be connected like this to these beautiful, spiritual, wonderful beings here, disguised as humans here on this planet. And I'm really touched. And I'm really thankful. My voice is cracking. And so during the ritual, I noticed a hawk flying above me a few times, and the hawk has always followed me. When I lived in the Bay Area, there's this park that I like to go to, and it was quite a big park, and secluded, and in the hills, and there, from time to time, when I was alone, I would see hawks, and they would land, and they would look at me, and I took notice of them. Deer do the same. When I'm alone, they hover around me. They're not afraid of me. They linger. They look. I remember I startled one day walking through the forest, and I startled one. It was laying there. It was actually laying down, and I startled it, and I stopped, and we looked at each other, and then I looked away. I looked down, and just kind of started looking at my feet and the rocks and stuff, and then I thought it was gonna leave, and it didn't. It just started eating. And so I was kind of taken back by that, because it wasn't afraid of me, and I've had experiences like that. So I took note of the hawk, and I even thought like I should be changing my name from Silver Moon Ravenhair to something hawk related. Maybe instead of Raven, it should be like, but it's not hawk hair. That's just weird. It should be something though related to hawk. It'll come to me. Anyway, what was I gonna say? And then during the ritual, there was one couple that came around to where we were performing this ritual, and so they left, but their dog came into the circle with me at one point and sat there. She just hovered there with me, and of course I took this as a sign, like another spirit guide, another spirit animal, familiar, and kind of greeting me, kind of making me feel like everything was gonna be okay. You know, I felt like the hawk was power, and then the dog was like just like love and unconditional love and care. And then once the ritual was over and the cleansing was over, and I stepped outside of the circle, I decided to step outside of the circle facing north, and because northwest is just such an important part of my life. It's always been an important part of my life. Not only is it connected to the journey that I've been on my entire life since I was born. I've been traveling northwest and living where I live, slowly moving northwest. But it's also direction of other powerful things. So, and elements that resonate with me. So yes, as soon as I stepped outside that circle, I heard all this beautiful chanting by these beautiful just birds, just that came out of nowhere. Felt like somewhere, and they were just singing, and I felt like that was like praise. I felt like that was like celebration of this, and I kid you not, I felt lighter. I felt like I still feel lighter. I feel taller. I feel lighter. I feel like I've shed pounds, and well, I literally shed all those rocks, but but in my soul and just in my being, I feel lighter. I haven't experienced anxiety. I did experience a little angst today, but I let it go. I cried last night about Montana. I had a crying thing experience, thinking about some things, and I was feeling down. A friend of mine asked me how I was doing, and it kind of triggered that I was feeling down about the situation with Montana. Like, I was asking the universe prior to that, why had it been this way, that this man that vibed with me on other levels, we vibed so well as friends, why did he have to have such horrible habits? Why couldn't he just be a normal guy, a normal dumb guy? Like, I could deal with a guy with just a bit immature. I could deal with a guy that maybe doesn't have his stuff together. I could deal with a guy that's maybe on the lazier side. I could deal with a guy that needs to be a bit more mindful. I can deal with those things. Like, we can work as a couple on making each other better for each other. Or, I can accept a nerdy guy. I can accept a guy that likes to curse too much. I can accept a lot of things, but I could not accept and I could not live with a guy that is a sex addict, a compulsive liar, a sociopath, and refuses to get the intensive help that he needs. So I refuse to be with somebody who keeps trespassing in our relationship because he has no healthy boundaries, and I refuse to be with somebody who is erratic and impulsive behavior to do things that the average person, the average man wouldn't do to his partner. So there's a lot of things there that I needed to refuse, and so I was crying last night as part of my purge, because it's like, why did I have to meet another guy like this? Like, of the core of him and me, when we talk, we're like friends, and we talk comfortable, and we can laugh, and I can tell we have appreciation for each other. So there's that care there. There's that chillness there. I like that he likes, that he's a coffee connoisseur, and he's introduced me to things and takes me places. Took me places. I like things about him quite a lot, actually. Appreciated the grown-up aspect of him, but just, he was unfortunately so toxic. And like my shaman, wonderful woman, spirit here, guide, said that being in that energy would just take me to that energy, and it sure did. It sure did. I've fallen from my 12 years of intensive seeking myself in my spirituality, and feeling ready for ayahuasca at one point, and feeling like I was worthy of just of a higher vibration. Now I'm working on it again. I don't feel like I am where I was when I kicked him out. Not anymore. I'm definitely vibing higher. But it took me down. It took me down to that nasty lower vibration levels. Just the way that I was comporting myself, the way that I went about reacting, and I was in fear, I was in shock, I was in pain, I was angry, I was resentful. I wanted him to hurt like I was hurting, but of course that's never gonna happen. For one, he doesn't have those feelings, the intense feelings, the deep feelings like I do. He's never attached emotionally like I did. So I just need to stop being needy is a thing that I need to work on. And it all just stems back from childhood and not feeling like I'm good enough. And so I let go of that feeling in my circle. Of course I'm good enough, and I'm more than good enough. I'm amazing. So I am working on self. I'm working on body, mind, and soul, because I deserve to manifest just this purity, this high vibe. And she even mentioned that I will find my soulmate, just to be patient about that. And that was comforting. Like I can be patient and just work on me. I mean, I was single for 4 years before this guy came into my life, before Montana. I can certainly be patient and work on me while my soulmate is brewing somewhere, working on himself. But I want to, when I'm ready. Right now, I'm not going to say I am or not. I am open to higher vibrating positivity raining down on me from source, from universe, from creator. I'm ready for that. I'm open to that. But in the meantime, I'm creating my own higher vibration, working on self-help meditations, therapies, these cleanses, and a whole bunch of little things and big things that are getting me right on track again. And I'm feeling like myself. I'm transforming inside and out, and it's exciting to see. So I definitely need a partner that's going to meet me at my level, that isn't going to be stuck or stagnant, that isn't going to be denying things, that knows his shadow because he's done his shadow work like I'm doing right now. I acknowledge, speaking of shadow work, I acknowledge the fact that I'm not a good listener when I'm hurt and I'm triggered, and and the partner has done things to break my trust, break my love, and hurt my heart. I acknowledge that at that point I am not a good listener. I acknowledge that I have control issues when I start distrusting my partner and my partner's ability, that I perceive as my partner's ability to make good choices, to make positive choices for the both of us. I do acknowledge that I have control issues at that point, and they all stem from wanting to be safe and wanting to keep me and us safe. So yes, I do acknowledge that I have control issues, and do acknowledge that I have an abusive tongue when again I feel that I've been triggered, I feel that I've been hurt, I feel that my heart has been broken, I feel like I'm betrayed, and I want that person to hurt like I'm hurting. I do acknowledge that my vocabulary has in moments been very abusive. Like I am very wicked when it comes to talking to you. If I feel like you've hurt me, like the pain is there and you've betrayed me or you've lost my trust. So I need to learn, I need to, that's my shadow work, I need to fix those things, because even if someone has done that stuff to me, I don't have to respond in those ways. I need to learn to let it go, let them go, and not linger because I linger, and then that resentment builds and that mistrust and everything. No, I just, when that stuff happens, I need to learn to just let them go. So I'm learning no more chances for me. I'm talking currently to a guy that just kind of popped up out of nowhere for me. I met him on a twin flame board, no less, and he was imparting wisdom that I appreciate, especially coming from male divinity. I appreciate it. You know, I find it very attractive to see a spiritual man and in his moment imparting his knowledge and his wisdom. So I made a comment, and I could tell that he has that energy that he draws women to him. And I went and looked at his picture. Physique doesn't do much to me. It has to be a soul thing. And when I saw him, his eyes drew me in. Like there was something about his energy that definitely drew me in, and it made me think of like Viking energy. And then, funny enough, when I saw his caption, it said his Viking energy had returned, and I was like, whoa, okay, yes, I see it. And so by the time I did that, I noticed that he had already sent me a private message, and then we've been talking since, and kind of connected sexually, it seems like, but I didn't want to continue that, so I kind of put the reins on that. I stop that. He's in Seattle, so he's fairly close, and I'm noticing little things already that I'm like, I'm giving him a chance to show me more, but I'm definitely not reaching out to him. I'm definitely keeping guard of what he's about, and like I said, I didn't go for the sexual stuff. As a matter of fact, I told him that I needed to go work out, which was true. So I needed to go. I said, but I did tell him, like, you know what, the sexual stuff can be done with anybody. That's nothing. I said, what I want to see is depth in someone's eyes. I want to see content. I want to say, I said, when I look at this man that is staring right back into me, I want to see into his soul, and I want to know that he's looking into my soul, and we have that connection. I said, that is important to me. So I said, sex anybody can do. So and then he's like, you know, I hear you. He acknowledged that. He said, you know, it was not my obligation, and I definitely shouldn't be around to experience him in this state, that he was gonna go and then come back later when he wasn't in such a triggered state. He says my voice is like silk to him, and he's been celibate for 19 months, and so my voice is like triggering him sexually. Whether it's true or not, I'm just flagging him a yellow flag. If I see anything else, red flag him immediately, because I'm not putting up with another narcissist. I'm not putting up with another psycho sociopath. I'm not putting up with anything in a lower vibration. I'm not putting up with a hurt man. I'm not. This guy hasn't presented himself as such. He just sounds like he's confident and mindful, and I like what he had to write on the twin flame boards, and we met in the twin flame boards. Come on. So just cautiously getting to know a new person, and whatever, it is whatever, and that's just fine for me right now. So this experience with this ritual was beyond what I could hope for, and I guess I still have the drumming to go. I haven't been exercised yet, so I have the drumming to experience. This was a cleansing, and I'm so thankful to this beautiful shaman soul. But yeah, that was that experience. I'm purging my twin flame. I reached out to him today just because I'm purging certain things, and my twin flame is one of them. It drives me up the wall that he acts the way he acts, and his energy affects me, and I've let him go in my ritual, in the ritual. I let him go. And so I had some stuff that I wanted to say to him, and I did. I wanted to say to him, and I sent him directly to his phone, and whether he heard them or not, there they are. I might just post them here as part of my video, but I had to say them. I've said them. I let them go. I don't want to pursue. I don't want to feel like I'm chasing. I don't want to say anything else about it. I might talk about twin flames just because I have that knowledge and I know what it's like, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I might talk about twin flames, but this is not directed at my twin flame. I want nothing to do with triggering him anymore. I want nothing to, I'm not desiring to start a relationship with him anymore. At one point I was hoping that we could be friends, because I think it's so important for twin flames. If you can be friends with your twin flames, even if you're not in a romantic relationship, I highly encourage that. There's so much to learn and to give and to receive from your twin flame, energetic wise, magic wise, just spirit wise. If you can connect your souls that way without it aching, I mean, you're so much more powerful, and there's so much more to give to the world, why we're here. But my twin flame is my twin flame, and he came to me angry, he came to me stuck, and that's exactly the 5 years that we were together. That's the man that I got to see on top of this beautiful angelic being that he is, and that I love, and that I fell in love with, and was an amazing connection. He also has his shadow work, and unfortunately he seems to be a soul that just refuses to work on it. It just stays stagnant, and it stays angry, and it's directed at the people that it's directed at me. He directs a lot of things that even don't pertain to me, and that's not okay. Not okay. That's abusive, and it needs to go, because that is not my, it is not my, it's not his right to do that, and it's not my obligation to be in his space. If he wants to blame me for things, it's not, I don't have to put up with that, and I don't have to agree. And he needs to work on himself so he can move out of that space and come back to the place where he belongs. He belongs in love. He belongs in this very angelic realm, and I'm not sure that he's ready to be there to receive that information, but that's up to him. That is his journey to walk, and I understand that now, and that's why I've let him go as of yesterday, and today, just my final words to him. I'm very comfortable where I stand in all of this, and I'm open to my exes to talk to me if they need to say anything, need to let me know things, communicate. I'm open to them, but I'm under no obligation to acknowledge, to agree, to heal, to keep you in my life in any way. So I understand my strength and my power and my healthy boundaries. I'm understanding that now, and so I'm okay. I'm letting all of that go. And yeah, and so going back to the whole Montana thing, I was sad yesterday and I did cry, but I think that was my final cry for all of that. And whether he has someone lined up already, like when he left, it felt like he had someone, it feels like he has someone, but whether he has or not, I wish him well. And we had a conversation like 2 days ago. Something happened that I texted him, and then he called me, and we talked for about 30 minutes, and it was really nice, and I feel him, and it was sweet, and it was flirty, but just platonic, and just I could be swept up in his energy because I feel him, but we kept it platonic, and we kept it sweet, and kept it caring, and that was good. That was really good. So I can see myself being a friend to him in the future, when things pass and we continue to do healing. I wish him happiness, and I wish him well, and the future has things in store for the both of us, and we move on, move forward, heal, and just continue on our path, doing the absolute best for ourselves. And mote it be. would it be? What would it be? Start a new journey in my life. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy and excited for myself.